Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about what happens when a narcissist tricks you into marriage. And also how it happens as well. Because sadly, we as people with a good heart, we are more willing to stick around even when our gut says run. Especially if we've made a big commitment. Such as marriage. And sadly these relationships never get better. They only get worse. And there are many that have told their story, stating if they would have left at the beginning of the marriage instead of years later, it would have saved them so much pain and problem. So first off, how does the narcissist trick its prey, the nice unsuspecting person, into marriage? They do it through what I call the long love bombing stage. You see, some narcissists get good at learning what they may have done wrong in previous relationships that allowed their prey item to escape. Remember, narcissists are like learning computers. And even if they seem like they can barely chew gum and walk at the same time, trust me, they can recall every piece of information you and other prey items have ever told them. And all of this information is stored in their data banks to be recalled in the case they need to use it for their benefit. And also to abuse you as well. And in every failed relationship, there is a learning ability for the narcissist just like there is for us. Except what we are learning is very, very different. You see, we are learning how to avoid such evil individuals in the future, hopefully. And these evil beings are learning how to control, manipulate, and destroy their next prey item better. Also, when a certain person is leaving them, they might tell them why. Which doesn't touch the narcissist in any way, shape or form. However, we've just helped teach the narcissist even more how to manipulate their next prey, by telling them what they did wrong. So what this narcissist will do is a longer period of love bombing. Longer than normal. You see, narcissists are usually likely to expose themselves within a 6-month period. But a narcissist might have learned this could quite possibly limit their chances at a quick marriage. Or even one that takes time. So what they do is hold in their rage or take it out on other people this person in their life doesn't have access to. All the while they are thinking this person they are dating is sweet, innocent, and the best person in the world. Because they are being love bombed like crazy. Being love bombed for 6 months is something. Being love bombed for 2 to 3 years can really do a number on someone. Because when we are love bombed, our brain releases all of these happy pleasure chemicals we soon get addicted to. And when it's snatched away, we go into a mode of trying to get that feeling back. Because we are literally addicted to this feeling without even knowing it. Well, being love bombed for years really cements this fact. And narcissists will oftentimes start laying down ultimatums, which makes this person on the receiving end very likely to cave in and give them what they are looking for, which is usually marriage. Because they don't want to lose this feeling they have been given for so long, that they are now addicted to. Now, though there are differences in the sexes that I've talked about before in this regard, women that are what I call good and rare will follow the same path as a good male. They won't care about money and how much the person makes. They will see the raw potential in this person where they think others haven't. And to be honest with you, this is a good trait to have. But it must be tempered with healthy boundaries so those that are evil won't take advantage of such goodness. Now, the reason why I mention these differences is because in society, women pressuring men to sign a contract of marriage is seen as normal and just a part of life. And men are basically told that, well, she cheated on you. You can't say anything about it because you weren't married. You should give her another chance and do the right thing. Which, in my opinion, that's the most nutty thing I've ever heard. But this is normal for men to hear. And men to go along with. Now, I will say, there are women that fit this same category that good men find themselves into. Getting married to a low-life dirtbag trying to take them for all they have. The difference is society doesn't push it on you like they do on men. But sadly the end result is the same. And that's after they either pressured you into marriage, or tricked you by way of sweet talk and magical words. The second you are married they change. I've talked to so many people both male and female that have stated that as soon as they said their vows they changed. It was like they changed into a different person. The love bombing stopped. They became irritated and argumentative on their honeymoon. And they wanted nothing to do with them. Now the reason why this is they now have their prey exactly where they want them. You see, legal marriage and biblical marriage are two different things, as I've said before. You didn't see the people of that day going to the courthouses in Rome or Egypt signing state documents with the state as a third party for the marriage union of a man and a woman. Now there were documents and agreements made between families. But nothing the state had third-party rights in. So the narcissist knows. They now know they have leverage with these documents. Now ladies, this is why you hear a lot of men talking about women and hypergamy. And I will be doing a video on this topic later. But in a nutshell, women used to marry up for security. Now the modern woman. Not you. But the modern woman marries for the divorce. You see, hypergamy is when someone dates or marries up. Back in the day when divorces were rare, marrying up could have been as simple as a woman that had no job married a man that worked at a shoe store. Or a woman that was a waitress married a man that worked a light desk job. And this was all done just for security. Now of course if he had his own business, or he had a really good job making large sums of money, this would make him more attractive. Because that meant her in-home life would be easier. But it wasn't seen as, okay, he's making good money, I get a big windfall in a divorce. This wasn't a part of the thinking back then. However now, hypergamy is completely different. Women. Again, this isn't directed at you, the good women. But the modern average women asleep in our society marries for the divorce. Because marrying a man that has the same or less is worthless to them. But if they marry a man with more money, when the marriage ends, even if it's their own fault, heck, they can cheat on their husband with 100 men in a weekend. And she would more than likely still get a large sum of money. And quite possibly maintenance payments for many years to come. Now the good women that are victims of this. The male narcissist is looking at your kindness and the fact you aren't judging him. And they love bomb the heck out of you. And pressure marriage. Or in most cases with the male narcissists, they sweet talk marriage. And once you've signed on the dotted line, just like your male counterparts out there in the world, you're now stuck. Because you might have some property the narcissist has been eyeing. Or you have a six-figure job. Or a trust fund that has been sitting there for you for years from a dead relative. Or they are now eyeing your will or your insurance money. And may want to have you killed. And boy oh boy is this genderless. Men and women are sadly planning their wives' and husbands' death for cash each and every day. Just to mention, Pat in the comment section of my video. Do friends really exist? Talked about how their brother was taken out by his wife. And apparently how she pushed drugs on him and how he was found dead in his van. You see, this is the thing that narcissists do. And I want you to pay attention to these stories when you hear them. Because though it's sad to say this, it's more accepted when this stuff happens to men. And it's treated as normal and expected. It does happen to good women too. And the moral of the story is to trust your gut. You must. Even if you signed on the dotted line. And things went south. That day. Or 2 weeks later. Now there have been a few. And I state a small few. That have told me they filed for divorce right away. Like as soon as they arrived back home from their honeymoon. And they stated it was the best choice they ever made. However, the sad part is most people don't do that. Now though I'm not for state-sanctioned marriages, I do understand why getting a divorce from one of these marriages is hard for a person that entered into such an agreement with a godly mindset. But the fact is, people, you are unevenly yoked. This person you married isn't a believer despite what they say. or how they acted in the beginning. And it doesn't matter if they volunteered their time at church either. They are a demon from the pits of hell. And if you stay with this demon, your life is literally in danger. I just wanted to bring light to this problem. Because I think if the narcissist is able to run this long game on someone, and there's no video, no nothing for anyone to refer to, and the narcissist lets their mask slip, the victim is going to stay stuck like a deer caught in the headlights more times than not. And this is why this information needs to spread like wildfire. And that is if you ended up in such a situation. Do what you have to do. I'm not saying you have to get a divorce, because I can't make that choice for you. But what I can do is tell you all of the people's lives that were wrecked because they stayed hoping things were going to get better. And they never did. And all they did was sink deeper and deeper into the narcissist's quicksand. Because this narcissist is only marrying you to gain leverage. Narcissists rarely will marry evenly. Narcissists usually marry someone they can either take their money or take their property. And they know you are scared to lose it. So that will make you try double hard to work things out and make things happy. And the harder you try, the worse things get. They never get better. They never do. Because the narcissist can't be fixed. They can't be helped. Nothing but evil and manipulative thoughts pump through their mind 24 hours a day. Everything is an act with the narcissist. Everything. When they are nice to you, it's an act. When you are sharing a special moment, it's an act. When they said they loved you, it was an act. The entire relationship from the day you met them was a complete and utter fraud. Yes. I know. I know. I know. You're not a perfect person. And it takes two to tango, as we've been told. But you didn't make them a narcissist. They were a narcissist long before you met them. And their sole purpose in dating you and tricking you into marriage is to gain control over your life. Suck you dry of your life energy force, or what we call narcissistic supply, and rob you of all of your money and property. And if they can get you to pay them monthly support on top of that, then hey, that's a bonus. Now if you're in such a situation right now, read the comments section. There's going to be a lot of people telling their stories for sure. And just like I said, no one can make the choice for you. But read all of these stories. And then do some soul searching. And ask yourself, if the person you're with tricked you for years into getting married also they could commit the biggest love fraud ever. Ask yourself, what kind of evil goes through a demon like that's mind to make them do such a thing? And then ask yourself, can you work with a demon to get them to be a better entity if you want to call them that? You see, there's a reason why Lucifer's fate is sealed. And all the demons that fell with him. Because I believe God knows that if he gave these evil demons a second chance they would try to stab God in his heart all over again. There is no changing Lucifer and the demons that fell from heaven. And there is no changing the narcissists that walk this planet Earth. If someone is tricking another person into marriage, they are dangerous. They will do anything. This is a person that can call a hitman or hitwoman and have you killed, and eat a turkey sandwich all the while it's happening. They have no conscience. They can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. They have no pity or remorse. And they absolutely will not stop until you are dead. So what needs to happen, even if you are on your honeymoon right now, and you feel something is off? It's like they flipped a switch, and they became a different person. Take a moment and slow things down. Stop thinking with the mind that is addicted to that feeling of being love bombed. Because the first step to addiction recovery is to admit it. So see it for what it is. And then slow things down. And observe. Talk to yourself. If you are a believer, talk to God. But don't talk to someone that is going to force you back into being asleep. Oh geez, James. You're just making a mountain out of a molehill. You just got married. Maybe she's having a temporary emotional problem you should be supportive and help her with. Instead, slow things down. And observe. And if you are leaning towards getting away from such a person, because that's the choice you are making, not a choice anyone else has made for you, do the research you need to do to legally protect yourself. Speak to a professional that can help you. Because if you choose to leave, the sooner you do it, the less skin the narcissist will be able to take off of your backside. The longer you stay, the harder and more expensive it will be. And for some, the expense can be your very life. Because even if they don't kill you themselves, they can have someone else do it for them, and claim innocence if their plan backfires. We've all seen the tapes of this happening. One minute they are ordering the death of their spouse with a smile and a chuckle, and the next they are in the police station crying, saying they had nothing to do with it at all. Simply amazing. The biggest takeaway I would like you to remember: this can happen to anyone. Yes. It happens a lot easier to people-pleaser types. Those of us that were raised in narcissistically abusive homes. But even if that's not you and you are stuck right in this situation we are talking about, don't beat yourself up. You didn't know. But that being said, you have some serious things to think about, and choices to consider. Now, what I would like is for those that want to put your input in this discussion, please do so in the comment section below. Regardless if it's how you're feeling about such a situation, or maybe you were in such a situation. Because when someone can read and hear real life stories, it sinks in hard, and really makes people pause and take a step back. And yes, I know divorce is a bad thing, but I don't think God wants you married to someone that has the goal of destroying you either. And again, this is why I say, we are marching to the goal of 200,000 subscribers. Because right now, how many men are stuck in such a horrible boat, and they feel like they have nowhere to turn? Well, it's my goal to shed some light on this evil problem. So one day, marriage will be restored to what the Most High God intended it to be. And that's a union between a man, a woman and God, not the state. With that said, let's keep praying for wisdom. Let's keep praying for strength. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.